Okay, sound is on. Let's make this happen here. Hi, welcome everybody. I want to get a sound check real quick here before I proceed. And I've got a little fun stuff here. Let's see if we can, all right, now I'll do sound check. Sound check, and let's see here. Welcome everybody. If you can hear me, I think you should be able to hear me all right. Let's see here. Should be turning up the volume there. I think we might be all right there on the sound check. All right. Hello from Montreal. Okay. All right. Good, Diana Ross. Good to see you. Well, let's just jump into a little music here. Let's just jump into a hymn right here. Hi, welcome. Mark Rogers here. Just set up here in the meeting room right now, and I'm running this solo today. And I just got up this morning and thought, you know what? It's been a while since we were able to have a little time together, and this week has been absolutely crazy. For those of you on the East Coast, you may not have seen what's going on here on the West Coast. But we're going through 2020, and the Lord continues to speak, apparently, here. And so I thought, you know what? Why don't I, in fact, I was going to do this here, too. I was going to, I think I lost my share. I was going to share something here. Give me a second here. I'm going to share. Yes, indeedy. Let's see here. I thought I was going to share my switcher cast here. Let's see here. Sorry about that. I had plugged in here 1978. So for those of you that are in technology, you know how sometimes we have to kind of ad-lib on the fly, and so that's what I'm doing right now. I thought I had some pictures to share. Is what I'm trying to do here. There we go. Let's see here. 1167. I thought I had some pictures. 192.168. I have to share my screen here, and I was going to. We have got some craziness going on here in the 1978. Let's try that. There we go. Okay, so. Let me pop this up here. This is, let's see here. We still got everybody there? Let's see if we got everybody here. Okay, so this is the fire map here for the West Coast, and this is about, I'm going to blow this up, see if I can blow this up a little bit more. It's not that great of a resolution, but you can see here that we've got lots of fires going on here in the West Coast right now. And it's they've come up. We had some winds come through our area here in eastern Washington here this last Monday it was, and it was unbelievable, the winds that came through, and we actually lost a couple railroad bridges. But I wanted to show some footage here. This is the West Coast as of yesterday it was. And you can see here the fires going on. This is the Pacific coastline here, and you can see the fires going on all the way up and down the West Coast here. And we can also, there's some visuals there from the satellites. So yeah, this has been interesting to see. Maybe the Lord having some more workings with us. And that is of fires. There's a lot of people that are at this time pretty concerned based upon everything that's been going on here. And here we are going through some extreme winds and some fires that are scattered up and down the West Coast. So with that, I thought, you know what? There is a beautiful, beautiful song. Let me just put this back up here. There's some beautiful, beautiful songs that our brother David Gorgas sent in here a couple weeks ago. He says, could you use it? And I said, we'll find a place for it. So I would like to play this song, From Every Stormy Wind That Blows. And he and his bride did a tremendous job on it. So let's go ahead and play this in light of the storms that have been going on.
Retreat.
Well, there we go. I so enjoyed that. Thank you, David Gorgeson family, for bringing that, shipping that in here a couple weeks ago, and I so enjoyed that. And from every storm that blows, and so here we've been working with some tremendous. And what happened basically was the storm that came up on us here on the West Coast is normally a northern wind that blows in the wintertime. And what happened is that it blown during the summertime, and they say that it was basically 2 to 4 times in 100 years for this situation. So anyway, one thing after another, and this is good to say. Hey, I want to say hi to Richard Poole. Thanks so much for checking in, and from every stormy wind that blows, that was David Gorgas, yeah. And then Marta Williams, good to hear you out there in Brooklyn. Good to see you. Diana Ross checked in a little earlier as well. And, of course, Mr. Sebo down in Southern California. And so good to see everybody today. And I just wanted to give a quick shout out and talk about the storm. But I also wanted to bring something encouraging as well, and in this day that we have. And so perhaps we could open our Bibles. I just had a quick thought here that we took up here recently in Romans 16. Now I'm going to do a little manipulation here, see if I can do a little manipulation with things here. So this is an interesting little thing here I thought might be a little encouragement for our souls here. So let's see if we can do this and this and this. There we go. There we go. Romans 16, I just had some thoughts, and particularly for the sisters, in light of everything going on, this is a tremendous little portion. We've been taking up Romans. We're finishing up Romans here locally. And, we get down to this last chapter, the 16th chapter, and it's just peppered with people's names, right? And so I thought it'd be interesting to kind of look at this, and maybe there might be some encouragement out of this, particularly for sisters in this day that we're living in right now. And, I'm not going to go into full details on this particular chapter, but just a couple nuggets that I thought might be helpful here. We know this is a letter of commendation. Romans brings forth some tremendous truths for every Christian. Every baby Christian should start in chapter 1 of Romans and move forward because it's a fundamental foundation. And frankly, I would admit that when I was younger, I didn't have a fundamental foundation of the topics of justification and sanctification, glorification, which is the stepping stones as you go through Romans. But when we get down to the very, very end here, this actually is a letter of commendation. And, I thought this would be so nice to share, and it's to Phoebe. And she is in an assembly in a church in Centria, okay? And as we know, letters of commendation are so precious because they're able to commend a particular individual, a saint of God, directly into the arms of another assembly, and also give the love of that assembly to the other assembly. And this is a beautiful thing. Well, Apostle Paul obviously is writing this, but I'm going to go through about 5 or 6 or 7 sisters here. This is an amazing thing. Phoebe is the first one here, and of course, verse 1 and 2 is about Phoebe. And she's the one carrying this letter to the assembly in Rome. But then we have this Priscilla and Aquila. Now, for those of us that have been, have enjoyed this, there are 6 times that Priscilla and Aquila, or Aquila and Priscilla, are mentioned in the scriptures 6 times. And 3 of them are the times when Aquila is mentioned first, the husband is mentioned first, and 3 of them are when Priscilla is mentioned first as well. And so here, this is one of the times where she is mentioned first. And it's interesting to see here, too, that the church must have met in their house where they were. They're in Rome, and because it says, likewise, greet the church that is in their house. And so it's beautiful to see that Priscilla was the one that gave the go-ahead, if you could say it that way, to open up the home and to have the assembly in their home. Such a beautiful thing to see that there. And moving forward, so that's our second sister that we have. And then if we jump on down here to verse 6, here's a Mary. So this is the third sister coming along here, and this is Mary, who bestowed much labor on us. I don't know if we have much details on her. And then we come on down to verse 12. I understand this Tryphena is a sister as well. And we also have to look at, when you have letters of commendation and description, Apostle Paul is always giving a little bit of hint. Here we're speaking of this Tryphena here 2,000 years later, 2,020 years later or so. And she's still in the Word of God, and she's one that labored in the Lord. Isn't that beautiful to see this next sister here, Tryphena, labored in the Lord? And then we have this beloved Persis here, and salute the beloved Persis, which labored much in the Lord. So there's two sisters apparently in the same verse there that are being recorded for us here 2,000 years ago. And then we come on down to the next verse here, and not too far here, is now we have this gentleman by the name of Rufus. And Rufus is one that, if you turn over to the book of Mark 15, in the chapter there, verse 21, you see that Simon the Cyrenian is hauling the cross out for the Lord, right? The Lord can't carry his own cross, and they compel this one called Simon the Cyrenian. And it says there that he's the father of Rufus, and I believe it's Alexander. So this is the connection possibly to the fact that Rufus is there in Rome, but the person I want to get to is his mother. Isn't that beautiful? Is his mother. And Apostle Paul apparently could really just, how there's some sisters that are just mothers to many, right? And apparently Rufus's mother was a mother to Paul as well. Isn't that beautiful? And then what else we got here? We got another sister coming up here in verse 15 here. So we have salute Philologus and Julia and Nereus and his sister. Isn't that beautiful to see that is his sister? So there's a sister there that's kind of quiet, kind of in the shadows there. That is such a beautiful thing to have her mentioned there as well. Now, interesting enough, while we're talking about families, and we just went over a handful of sisters, a good 6 or 7 sisters here. Interesting enough, come back to verse 10. It says, "Salute them which are the house of the Aristobulus household." And it was noted by several writers too that it's oftentimes that not everybody in the household is of the Lord, right? And so there could be those that are not they're not saved in a household, and so he's certainly calling out a few there that were saved as well. And let's see here. I think there was one other thing. Oh, verse 14. Come on down to verse 14. And this is interesting here too. This little, where we have this individual here, Hermas, Patrobus, Hermes, and the brethren which are with them. And so this is thought of the fact that in the city of Rome, major metropolitan area, why there were those that they couldn't meet all in one place, and so there was a variety of assemblies there gathered to the Lord's name in Rome. So it's a beautiful thing. I'm going to kind of close it right there. I do, by the way, I have another hymn to slide in here too, but I want to think something, that just share something with you that is important for today too, and I just want to read the 17th verse. "Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them." And I can tell you that Satan is very, very active. The enemy is very active. Divisions are an incredible thing. Divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned. So it's interesting to see here Apostle Paul rolling through this last little section, last chapter, obviously, of the book of Romans. And, he rolls through the first 16 verses, absolutely beautiful, beautiful things he's laying out. And we laid out the fact that he's got love for all the saints there in a variety of ways, and he calls out these sisters in just a beautiful way. But then on the 17th verse there, he says, "Brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned." And what's striking about it too is Apostle Paul is hardly on the scene. The church is so brand new, and there are already those that are causing divisions. So anyway, this is just a little meditation, a little enjoyment here that we have here in this last chapter, the 16th chapter of Romans. And I just so enjoyed all the sisters that are just laying out there. We've mentioned, if you were on a little broadcast I did a couple weeks ago, why we talked about Abigail in 1 Samuel 25, a dear one in the Lord, no doubt. She seemed to have a tremendous faith. We talked about her and her attributes. And then here in the 16th of Romans, we get to see these sisters quietly going on in their various little capacities that are going on. And it's just a beautiful thing to see that. So with that, let's roll into a shmool. And we have much to encourage ourselves in this day that we're in right now. So last time when we started the program back in March and April, we had the COVID going down. We here on the West Coast now have been dealing with a lot of civil unrest in some of these cities. And now we've had the fire going on, but the Lord is still good. And so we had the song about the mercy seat, but I thought we'd bring in this other little shmool that we played some time ago, and I would like to play at that to encourage our hearts.
When we survey the wondrous cross on which the Lord of glory
Well, there we go. Thank you, kids. And hey, listen, if kids still got and people want to still do smools, get together and do those across the thing. This pandemic isn't stopping anytime soon. So, anyway, it's good to see everybody today. It's just about 30 minutes there. A little meditation on Romans 16. Little outlook as to where we are, and the Lord's bringing us closer to home every day, getting our hearts ready. Is He not? And if anybody ever got any ideas or anything like that, always shoot me an email. You can hit me on the Facebook here, Common Thoughts of Christ, or over on the YouTube channel, Common Thoughts of Christ as well. And always happy to share ideas. You can hit me with an email, Mark at Common Thoughts of Christ as well. And, I have ideas. I have an idea to do a virtual sing someday, maybe 2 months, month and a half, 2 months down the road. I think we could pull off a big sing, but that's me. I'm always having ideas, but may we look for the Lord's coming here any moment, right? And he says, "Behold, I come quickly." At the very end of the pages of Scripture, "Behold, I come quickly." And the bride and the groom, bride and the Spirit say, "Even so, come, Lord Jesus." So, with that, I'll sign off. Good to see everybody online. Thanks, Gloria Nunn, for jumping on as well. Good to see you there and seeing everybody else.